When we are working in a business where stress is present, where there's massive amount of communication, concentration is essential. But very often we perceive concentration as pure attention. Meditation really brings you some other elements into it, where we're going to mix attention and relaxation, which means we're going to remain very attentive but relax at the same time. In a world, in the corporate world, where communication has become so important and conflict between employees can come at a huge cost for corporations, to be able to relax and remain attentive at the same time means you can almost be in a meditative state in the workplace and become extremely efficient, but avoid these reaction, this type of reaction that will slow down the process and create amazing amount of conflict in a corporation. Attention can create tension. And when I talk about tension, I talk basically about two things. I talk a lot about muscular tension. Your brain is obsessed by the muscle tone. So one thing is really powerful is that we don't realize when we're talking to people that our muscles are all contracted, and it's going to have a huge impact on what we're going to say to them. So how can we find a technique using our breath to make sure that we relax our muscle tone? The second aspect that is really powerful and in the corporate world is essential is to get to know these psychosomatic reaction. You could say psychosomatically we are out of tune. It comes at a great cost. I mean, I've reacted to anger at 4 years old, and my body sent me the exact same signals it did since I'm 4 years old, and I'm 53. I'm caught in some kind of a somatic jail where the exact same story will come out of it. So what is really interesting in this is that we're going to make sure, and meditation is a lot about that mind and body becomes friend. The mind stops looking at maybe when my breath becomes a bit short, it becomes a bit more difficult to breathe, that I will draw lots of conclusions that I'm angry at the other person, because the mind will have a tendency to dramatize about these physiological events. So we're going to make observe these physiological events for what they are. We're going to purely perceive them for what they are instead of conceptually perceive them. You'd say when the mind and the body becomes friend, I will observe these physical sensations. Maybe my heart rate has increased, my cortisol in my body has increased, but I will not draw all sorts of stories out of it. I will be back on my attention, and I will be relaxed, which will avoid an immense quantity of problems in the corporate world. What is fascinating in this world where corporations spend millions on training is that they rarely check the return that they have on it. And the reality is that a lot of times you send your employees on training, they come back to work, and they essentially don't apply what they've learned. So it is, of course, for tax reasons, we all understand the system, but what if people could come and apply this type of things? What is powerful about this, it is very much related to emotional intelligence and a meditation technique at the same time, is that as soon as you come back to work, you're going to be applying it. There are studies that show that you're going to get a 95% return on the first year. It's unbelievable, and imagine if this type of training is implemented into the whole corporation, not only at the high management level, but at the middle management, low management, and employees as well. It's a game changer you have here, where literally you're going to remain attentive, very focused on the problem, but you will create a sense of relaxation at the same time, a sense that there's no drama here. There's never been any drama. We're just working and we're accomplishing something together. And we stop perceiving this physical tension. It's like perceiving a mice and making an elephant out of it. We stop doing it. It's nothing. There's no problem actually. And you come back to the reality that very often the conflict that you have with people or the anxiety that you feel is not about the external situation. It's something that you feel in your body. You're sending the message to your brain, and then your brain comes to conclusion that there is a problem with the situation that you live, which is absolutely not true. So essentially, I think you will have one of the best return on investment in human resource training that you can have.